Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And yes, I'm doing another quick garden update because I just dug up my potatoes, or most of them. There's still some in here I got to dig down and get, but I needed to get them out of the way so that I could start planting my amaranth that you can see in that pot right over there. And so I thought I'd show you real quick kind of what's happening out here. So this is the back side here. And you can see my stinging nettle over there. This is the side that's up against the house. I'm in the front yard. So this is the area that we've been expanding more and more to make the most of our space here on our corner lot. And anyway, I'm going to be transplanting the amaranth and moving some more sorghum from this weird little section I have here out to the back. And anyway, I just kind of wanted to keep you updated and show you what's happening. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around so you can see some of the other stuff happening here. Okay, so right here is one of my rhubarbs. I've got all of this here. These plants here are, I'm sure some of you might recognize it. That is tomatillos. Those are tomatillos. I didn't plant any of these. I had grown some out here and they didn't do great, but they did well enough to self-seed and give me tons of plants. And so I just let them grow, even though they were right on the edge of the lawn, which we haven't mowed in forever because we have so much roofing material all over the place. It's almost pointless. I might still get out here with the lawnmower and just mow around what I can. But anyway, over here are my zucchini. And well, as you can see here is feverfew. I want to show you this. I did post a picture on Instagram and Facebook. This feverfew is different than all the rest of mine, even though they all came from the same package and then the same seed. Probably self-seeded, but the flowers have way more petals than the standard. And this has like 3 to 4 rows of petals, where the standard one only has 1 to maybe 2 rows of petals. So these are just much more thick, which is very interesting. So back there is the lilac I got last year, and there's an elephant garlic, and that's scaffolding for the roof. And then my stinging nettle, and I haven't done anything with it for a while. I've been letting it go to seed. I'm hoping to remember to get out here and get that, collect it, so I can put some of that up on my store because people have been asking. So yeah, right here, this bare patch is where all my potato plants were. And so I just came out here last night and dug a bunch of them up. There's still some more over there that needs to be dug up. And I'm sure there's still more good potatoes in here. And so let's walk around here. So my zucchini plants are doing pretty good. Weird thing is, I noticed this on my cucumbers too. In my other squash, I've been getting the female flowers coming in before the male flowers, which is odd. But there must have been at least one male flower, because I saw somewhere in here, I actually saw a zucchini growing, so it looks like it got pollinated. That is a ground cherry. I think I'm going to move it. It's getting too crowded out. I always forget how big the zucchini gets out here. It never would get this big in the backyard. It loves it in the front. So this is the same thing with the rhubarb. The rhubarb never did great back there, but out here it's loving it. Anyway, so I don't grow zucchini in the backyard anymore, and I think the one rhubarb I have out back, I'm gonna just take that one out because we don't eat that much rhubarb. So anyway, the ground cherries, there's another one there. I think I'll move the ones that are over here crowded. I'll move back in here along with the amaranth and some more of this sorghum. I transplanted some out there, right back in there, and now I've decided I don't really want them there. I want them back farther because they should get pretty tall. That's the broom sorghum that I'm trying out. The other sorghum I tried just didn't do anything. So there was potatoes growing right in here that I didn't plant this year. They're just coming up from a couple of years ago, before I had expanded all this area, and they're still growing, but they don't produce much potatoes under there because they just don't get enough sun. And then that's the lemon balm I transplanted just a little tiny sprig of, and I do think it's going to do much better here than in the West Herb garden. And those big giant beets are finally started to grow. I got some other beets growing, but I don't know, beets don't seem to like me. And this poor sad calendula I just transplanted. I transplanted it yesterday and I forgot to water it in, so it's kind of wilty. I'm hoping it will snap back. I see the other one's starting to come back because I planted 2 of them. I transplanted from a pot. And then my golden oregano starts. That I gotta get out here and try to mow what I can. This grass is getting unreasonable. It's driving me nuts. Peppermint is taking over like peppermint does, and it's loving it here. This is the best I've ever seen my peppermint look, period, anywhere. And I don't mind it right there. As long as I can keep it back in there, that's totally fine. I don't mind it filling in. So that's oregano, sage, and unfortunately I've got that stupid morning glory taking over my sage now. It's like a beast. It's so invasive. It's horrible. I have an echinacea that I started from seed this year there, and another one right in there. And you can see back there, I forgot that I had planted a horseradish, just a start from one of my other ones right there. It's coming back. I forgot they were even there. And and I think that right there is bee balm. I noticed the bee balm looks like a couple of their plants. I'm growing bee balm for the first time this year, and I realize some people's bee balms are already blooming, but yeah, everything, so many of those kind of things here are way behind. There's my mini peach tree. We'll see how that does this year out here. It didn't get fruit this year, and I didn't expect it to, but we'll see what happens next year. So anyway, I'm going to get busy transplanting some more stuff, and when I'm done, I'll show you what I did here. Okay, so I got the sorghum, what I'm going to transplant here at least, in there, and the amaranth transplanted. I transplant them in clusters, and of course they're all laying over right now because they just got transplanted. So anyway, what I did here was I tried to leave myself a path here between the ground cherries, which these two bigger plants I moved forward from up here because they were like right up under the zucchini, getting covered up by that zucchini, and then a couple smaller ones that I had, they were totally covered up. And then, so I left myself a pathway here so I can get to the ground cherries when they start getting fruit. The rhubarb, I can actually get to the rhubarb from the outside edge and the zucchini from the outside edge, but I may still need to get back in here to get to some of the zucchini because there's actually 5 plants there. I planted them too close together. They always look so far apart until they start exploding. So anyway, and then I have a pathway here between all this, the stinging nettle, and the shrubs that we have here, which this here is the Camellia japonica, which you can use for making black, green, or oolong tea, or white tea. And I've done that. I'm not a big tea drinker when it comes to that, but anyway, you can do that, and I have a video on how to do it. So you start by harvesting these young leaves here, is what you want to use, but I'm probably not going to mess with it this year because of time. It's just been too crazy. And I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned, I've got you might have seen the lamb's quarter right there, and I just let it grow wherever it comes up. I know it's going to self-seed all over the place and make more, but there's so much good nutrition in that lamb's quarter, and I actually like it better than spinach. And anyway, I use it, I dehydrate it, use it in my mixed greens, and cook with it. In fact, I just made a stir fry last night using some ramen noodles I thought I would try that were organic and that I got from Costco. And they were okay. They're actually pretty good. They stuck together still worse than I thought. But anyway, use that along with my snow peas and some other goodies from the garden, and calendula and nasturtiums as well. And it turned out really good. But anyway, so that's my update for this section right now, and we'll be watching this as it grows and see how it fills in. It should look quite pretty once all this stuff grows up and goes into bloom and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens out here. All right, well, that's my second garden update for the week. So I'll see you on the next garden update. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.